Hey everybody, welcome back! Welcome back to the Goat Force Gaming channel where we play the roguelikes and the roguelites and hopefully add some awesome games to your backlog. Thanks for being here with us today. If you enjoy the rogues, I'll tell you what, you are in the right place, sir or madam, and I'm glad for that. Hey, I have been super excited to show this game off for a little bit of time now, and I was waiting for the right moment because I wanted to make sure I had an ample understanding of the game before I tried to show this one off, because it has a lot going for it. This is also a game that I've had for quite some time, and I was a little apprehensive to dive into it because I thought that there would be a pretty steep learning curve. I was wrong about that, and I was happy to be wrong about that. This is Loop Hero, and this is an auto battler. This is a deck builder. This game is a lot of things, and it has so much going for it. I'm excited to show it off today and illustrate to you why I think it's fun and why I think you should get in there and spend some time with this game. So, we're going to look at Loop Hero today. We're also going to have some food talk, because of course we're going to have food talk. What would we be on this channel without food talk? You'd say, my God, is this even the GOAT? Who is this? Is this some imposter? Okay, so we're going to have food talk. Specifically, we're going to talk about the chili cook-off that I attended and also participated in over the weekend. We're going to get into some coffee talk as well. If you watched any of the Tiny Rogues playthrough series that I did, talked a lot about some of the places I visited, including a couple cafes where I picked up bags of coffee. If you happen to miss out on that, I will pop the link to that series up at the top in case you want to dive in now and come back to some Loop Hero. Whatever you want to do. It's your world. We're just living in it, right? Isn't that what the kids say? So anyway, we're going to get into some of that talk. If you're a regular here, thanks so much for being here with us. If you're new here, thanks so much for being here with us. I'm glad you chose to stop by and take a look at some Loop Hero today. I would love to earn the right to your subscription. I will just tell you going into this that if you click that button, it might cost you some money at times. You know, you might see a game like Loop Hero and go, my God, look at this thing. I got to play this right away. Or, you know, my God, I've got to put this on the wish list. Whatever you're doing out there, you might see a game or two at some point where you go, man, I'm going to play this. And, you know, it's going to hit your wallet. Good problem to have, though, if you ask me, right? So anyway, cheers to you for being here. Let's talk a little bit about Loop Hero and what this is. So we're automatically, I'm not controlling any of this, we're automatically moving around this circle and making our way through and picking up items that all have different stats, and we're improving upon our stats over time by putting in these items. Now, I haven't unlocked all of these armor slots, but these are the ones that we can change out as far as the armory goes. This is where we're picking up items along the way, and usually items are going to pop when we, you know, happen to fight an enemy that spawns, or sometimes you get them from placing cards in certain spots. So basically, we're going to improve over time, but so are the enemies. So they're going to build up as well. And every time we loop around, we're going to get some health back. That's here. And then I've got village cards as well that I placed down. and you're going to get some health back as you go through those. I can also stop time and go into the planning phase just by a simple mouse click. As you put down cards, it changes the state of the game. So the mountains are going to add to our maximum health value. The sand dunes, for instance, are going to lower creature HP. And then you can add enemy spawn places on the map as well. So we're going to put a couple groves down. Now, I have an archer as well. So as long as I am 2 spots away from camp, the archer's going to show up and help us in these battles. So that's why I'm putting the groves here. Okay. And then we're going to put a battlefield down. This is going to spawn a chest for us. And you kind of want it in a spot where enemies aren't going to appear, because enemies on these 2 tiles can turn into ghosts. And, well, you know, ghosts can be a little bit of a hazardous encounter. So you just stop time every once in a while, look at what you got, and if it's better than what you have currently, you pop it on. So this one has better stats. We're getting some evasion. We're going to do damage to all, and then pure damage, and these stats appear down here as you grow. And that's basically it. The other thing, though, is as you place cards down in the field, it's going to change what happens here. So because I put down a certain number of villages, for instance, that spawned a bandit camp. See, they prefer villages, appears for every 2 village tiles. So now we have bandits to deal with. But it's kind of a help me hurt me, because, again, as you fight dudes, they're going to give you stuff. Now here's the best part of this game. This is I think, the best game to drink coffee to. You know, there's a little bit of thought that goes into play. Now, this happens to be a treasury. This is a special tile that I put down. When it's fully surrounded, we're going to get a bonus here. So see all those treasures that popped up? And we take these supplies back to the hub world that you saw first, and you can, you know, upgrade various structures that serve as meta progression. You know, they're going to give you permanent stat boosts along the way. So let's put another village tile down. And I think we need to start putting desert tiles down as well. I was waiting on these a little bit because I was hoping to find another treasury that we could place the tiles around. So I'm going to place a few. And let's see, it looks like we've got a better sword here with vampirism and a much better helmet. So the oranges are kind of your mythic, legendary gear, and then you've got, you know, rare, and so on and so forth. Legendary's having the most stats on them. All right, so we're definitely going to put this armor on. It's a huge increase to max HP. And I've probably played, I don't know, about 10 hours or so. And you're going to open up new cards along the way that you can use on your runs. There's just a lot of cool stuff to this game. Okay, so Oblivion allows us to crush a tile that we no longer wish to have. So we're going to get rid of the bandit camp. Because reasons. Now these jerk-offs won't show up as often anymore. We're going to put this ring on. And now that I've explained things, we're going to speed it up just a little bit. And I like these options over here. When I started, you know, I was playing over here to learn the game. But as you get going, you're like, okay, I think I'm good. Let's get this thing going. And then it all just kind of happens. At some point, once you've put down enough world tiles, it's going to bring you to the end game of the stage that you're in. And a boss will... Now, I haven't figured out if they indicate how many tiles you have left to put down until that happens. I'm sure that's shown somewhere on the screen or another screen. Okay, see this little thing that spawned the ziggurat? It's because I put down so many desert tiles. So we're going to pop another one of these out here. And like I say, I'm just kind of saving these in case a treasury shows up, because then we can surround it automatically. There's our archer that I was talking about. Or crossbowman, if you prefer. But basically, we want to fill this thing up as much as we can, bring back all kinds of goodies, and then upgrade and create new structures that we didn't already have. Okay, see? So there's our treasury. We're going to place this down, and, we're going to pop it over here. And I'm going to put down some meadows. Now, these are going to heal 2 HP at the start of every day. Days are, indicated by the sunset. Okay, let's pop this down, put some meadows down around it, and you'll see once I fully surround it, we're going to be off and running. There it goes. Okay, and sometimes you get rewarded with some epic loot here, so we're absolutely going to put that on. And then again, you can just see it show up right here, this stats building. I'm sorry I'm going Professor Goat today. It's just that, I wanted to play this game for so long, and I had this wrong feeling that this game was going to feel like homework going into it. I just thought there was so much going on to learn, and then you just start playing, and you're like, oh, well, this isn't as bad as I thought. Now, again, a lot to learn, but it's not overwhelming, and that's what I was concerned about. Okay, so we're doing well here. Let's see what this helmet looks like. Okay, so the retaliation damage is really good, double, and then we've got some extra stats as well. So we're gonna throw that on there. And if anybody has questions, or you've played this game before and you're like, Goat, what are you doing? You should be doing this instead with these pieces. Please weigh in. Anything to improve my game, and I'd be happy to, help get anybody else going in the game. Every once in a while, a trait will pop as well, and you can pick, a buff, just like, we typically enjoy in roguelites and roguelikes. So I'm going to go with Blade of Dawn because this is very, very good. I've had this one before. Okay. See, it just popped. And it is wonderful. So I'm kind of waiting on another treasury again. That's typically how I go with my cards. And we're going to transition to some food talk here in a moment. Okay. Yeah. So again, if anybody wants to know more, if I went too fast, I don't think I went too fast. But if anybody wants to know more, I highly recommend this game. They actually gave it away on Epic months ago, and like I said, it's just kind of been sitting there as something that I want to get to. Road Lanterns control the spawn rate. And the effect stacks. So, if I put this over here, these areas are going to be double covered. So let's do that, because it looks like there's a ton of activity that happens over here. Okay. We'll put one more mountain down. And see, they're getting the +6 for each adjacent. So the fact that this is here and this is here, we're getting a lot more. Okay. Let's put down a grove right there, because the archer is still going to show up. And I'm just trying to decide if there's anything else we want to throw on here. Let's put this ring on. And I think we're ready to move. So I participated in a chili cook-off at the brother-in-law's over the weekend. And, it popped up so fast. I guess going away on the trip just kind of put everything in fast forward for a little bit. And you come back and you go, holy shit, this is like right around the corner now, in a good way. I mean, I was happy that it was happening, but then I was like, oh my god, I gotta figure out what the hell I'm doing with chili, because I like to do interesting chilies. You know, I don't like to make the normal red, tomato base with ground beef and spices, because that's what everybody's going to do, And I'm not saying I don't like those chilies. I do. I like that type of chili as well. But I wanted to do something interesting, and so I've had pork loin in our chest freezer like forever. And so I said, well, maybe I could do something with pork. Maybe I could do a play on pulled pork. Let's decimate this. That'll slow down the activity over here. Let's get rid of that goblin camp. That worked out well. Pop this mountain over here. Hope for another treasury. So I grabbed this pork loin, and this sucker was like 10 or 11 pounds. And I thought, well, maybe I can do a play on, like I say, barbecue pulled pork and chili, like a white chili, but instead of chicken, we'll use pork, and do something like that. So that was the plan. And where do we want to put this lantern? Let's pop it over here. I like putting them in these areas where the road wraps around, because then you're covering, in this instance, 7 tiles instead of just 2 or 3. And that, of course, gets harder and harder as you go on. Oh, there goes another ziggurat from the deserts. That's okay. So I ended up putting the pork, I cut it in half because, I'm not putting 11 pounds of pork in a chili, even though, maybe the thought crossed my mind. That wouldn't shock you, would it? I know it wouldn't. So I put it in the Instant Pot with some barbacoa sauce. I have a spicy barbacoa sauce from the Hot Ones series. We like Sean Evans on Hot Ones, if you've watched that YouTube show. So we occasionally will buy the sauces from that group, and I had some barbacoa that I put in there. And then I also put in some Sweet Baby Ray's. And, just glorious smells coming out of the Instant Pot. What do we want to demolish here? Probably this. I'm okay with the ziggurats, because the timekeepers only show up every so often. Let's see. Spawns a desert spirit each loop. Desert spirit has a 33% chance to join a battle anywhere on the road. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm not too worried about the spirits. They're fine. See, that's one of them right there. Their shield stinks, but that's okay. We're becoming an Adonis. Let's go ahead and put a battlefield down here. So I put it in the Instant Pot for 2 hours or so. It was still a little bit frozen, so I did 2 hours, and then I did a 30-minute slow release where you just kind of slowly let the pressure release from the Instant Pot. Let's see, do we want to do this? Damage to all, I like that for groups. Evasion of 6%. Yeah, the damage is higher. Let's do that. And it's good for groups, the damage to all. Let's pop another couple of these tiles down here. Maybe we won't get another treasury. Hard to say. But the meadows are good to get HP back every day. So, there goes a perk. Okay. Article of Protection. After receiving this trait at the start of every loop, the hero receives 65% of max HP as Phantom Shield that persists between battles. So basically, we're going to get a set of health that acts as armor. This is very good. I like this one. So max HP is going to be super important now that we have that. Let's see, a level 9 ring. Let's go ahead and pop that on. That sounds good. So the pork turned out great, you know, very shreddable, little bit of flavor from the barbecue action that I included. This is a big step up in shield. So then I started working on the base of the chili, and you know, I'm hitting it with all the typical stuff: the green chilies, the jalapeno, cumin. Of course, I love cumin. Just love the smell, love the flavor. It just gets you in the mood for chili just smelling it, you know? Put the pork in. I put 3 or 4 cans of white beans in there. And then, of course, you know, 3 scoops of garlic. Because we buy the crushed garlic in the jar to make that process a little bit. Wow, a couple villages to put down. Might as well get the additional health. I kind of want to start setting them up over here, because when the boss appears, it's going to appear here. You fight the boss in the town area. Speaking of, I also want to put a beacon down so that we get that buff to attack speed for the boss fight. Okay, so let's pop some of these down again here. And we'll go ahead and put that village down also. Let's put it over here for our next time around. We're probably getting close. Okay. So, you know, put it all together, popped it in the fridge, and brought it over to the brother-in-law's where, you know, a bunch of family and friends were. And I think there were a total of 6 or 7 chilies there. Mine was a big hit. There were, you know, 2 or 3 chilies that I would call your standard operating procedure chili. You know, your tomato base, your ground beef, and then however spicy, you know, the person wanted to go. Okay, here we go. All right. So that was the final tile that we were able to put down. You can still put more tiles down, but now we've triggered the boss, okay? Couple options when this happens. If you feel up to the boss, and right now I do, you head towards the boss. If you're like, oh shit, I don't know about this, it's not looking great, you can choose to escape. If you retreat, you'll keep 60% of the resources you found. This is what you'll lose. Now, eventually, once you beat some bosses, you're going to get this skull, and that allows you to just take everything, okay? So, preview of that. Once you start kicking ass, you're going to be kicking ass and taking all. We're going to stay, obviously. We're going to go against the boss. Now, I will tell you, even though I've been playing for a while, I still lose to the boss. So, we'll see how this goes. But I like our setup overall. We're going to get life. A couple battles along the way. Maybe we'll get a couple weapons over here or pieces of armor that'll be helpful in this battle. We'll see how it goes. So I'll talk about the standout chilies. You know, my dad actually made a chili with chorizo. And look, I mean, chorizo is special in and of itself, but on top of that, he smoked the chorizo. He smoked it. I probably went back and got 3 decently sized bowls of his chili. And it had nothing to do with you know, the relationship. The chili was that damn good. It was incredible. I'm trying to decide if I want to do this or not. So we'd be losing. I like evasion and vampirism. Yeah, I think we're going to increase the vampirism. That sounds good. And who knows? We could still Still time to grab something. We'll go sand dunes. Now, if I had Oblivions still, I could get rid of this, and that would knock down some of the Vinyl Dude's power. Okay? So that was really good. There were a bunch of white chilies. My sister-in-law actually made a white chili with chicken. Okay, here we go. We've got full armor. She made a white chicken chili, and then there was a poblano cream sauce that you put on top of it. Just incredible. Incredible. All right, let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so our armor is wiped, but we're looking okay. He's taking some big chunks off of us. The Sunblade definitely is keeping us ahead. All right, there we go. Now, if you saw the skull icon pop out, that's what you get for beating the boss. So, there we go. There is a story. I'm not going to get into the story of the game, but if stories, help you get into the games, this one does have an interesting story as well. Okay, so we're going to get some epic gear. We're going to get some resources. And then they hit you with a choice. Hey, do you want to keep going? If you want to keep going, you can. Or you can retreat now and keep everything. I'm actually going to stay because I want to build up some loot still. And I like the way things are going. I also know that I have the skull here, and I'll be able to still take everything. So I'm going to opt to stay. You may find yourself in a scenario, though, starting out, like when you get your first boss win, you'd want to retreat at that point. Otherwise, you risk losing part of what you've just, taken on. Okay, so let's pop this shield on. This looks fantastic. This is such an epic leap in helmet. Look at this. Wow. Okay, polearm. Damage to all, 8. Defense, 12. Attack speed, plus 10%. Wonderful. And it's a legendary. Effing perfect. I'm so excited right now. So the chilies were just, they were phenomenal. We can still put cards down. But then you're still going to get, the nasties showing up. That's still going to happen. Let's see. We're getting some duplicate coverage here. I guess let's pop this over here. Yeah. We'll put this over here. We'll pop the meadows out there because of course we will. And then what I want to watch for is to fill these resources. I think you can have up to 10. So 10 of these. We're good here already. That's probably why this is orange. We can get a few more of these. And every time you get 10 of these, you get one of these. So, and that probably doesn't make any sense at all the way I'm saying it. But if you play the game, you're going to understand it. I guarantee it. How about that? But I'll leave this up so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. All right. Yeah, we're looking really good here. We're looking very good. So, anyway. So I ate a lot of the chorizo chili because it was amazing. I talked about the poblano cream sauce. My brother-in-law did these fresh chilies. He's got just an amazing garden going. I've talked about that before. He, ends up with hundreds of tomatoes coming out of these raised beds that he put up. All right, we're going to put the rocks down to maximize that health and that armor. We'll put the meadows down. We're just going to paint the whole screen. How about that? We'll put the desert and the sand dunes down. And then we'll throw down another beacon over here. Yeah, we'll put it over there. How about that? Okay, give us that armor. So it was great. We watched football a little bit. This was on a Sunday. What are we putting down here? Oh, right. So this is for treasure chests. So I want to put it on an area where there aren't enemies because of the whole ghost thing that I talked about. It gets harder and harder to find open spots that, you know, aren't going to create some inherent danger as you go on. But I wanted the extra resources. It's a little bit of a gamble, but it's a safe gamble because of the other things that I have, like that skull that I talked about, where I can, you know, kind of leave whenever I want. We'll put this over here. So that just created another bandit camp over there. So it's all kinds of help me hurt me's as you put these cards or tiles down. And I probably failed to mention that, you know, you are also able to work with the deck of cards that you have over time. You can add cards and take cards out, and experimenting with the different cards is a lot of fun as well. All right, give us another orange. Not seeing that orange equipment show up as often, but we got some really good stuff from the boss, so that's okay. I don't have much to complain about. Okay, here we go. Pure damage, damage to all, 3 evasion. Okay, perfect. We'll go with that. Let's put a mountain down. Let's throw a meadow down. My mom made a chili as well, and you know, my mom is afraid of spices. She's afraid of over spicing, and so, you know, everybody just kind of knows that her chili's gonna be bland, and it's fine, you know. And it was good. I tried it, you know. It's definitely it was the kids' chili. That was the chili that all the children went to, you know. So it was good to have one like that there. We should be able to surround this, I think. We'll have enough time to do that. All right, perfect. We'll put this rock next to this rock, and we'll get some bonus max HP that way. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, we're positioned really well. Look at this. Look at this. We got some stuff to look at here. We're putting that on for sure. And we will pop that on for sure as well. Great. Okay. Let's throw another beacon down. Well, I mean, where would we need coverage? We need coverage over here, but there's officially nowhere to put it. I mean, that's really the only... Well, I get... You know what? Yeah, I guess we could put... The beacons are not duplicative in terms of their enhancement that they offer. Oh, I wonder how long this has been sitting over here. I don't need the full Hand of Oblivion cards as much. I mean, there's a business case for it, but we're good. Let's go each day passes 15% faster. We'll get our HP back a lot faster, so we'll go with that. Okay. Now, there was a good business case for the Oblivion cards as well. There's plenty of stuff that could be destroyed out on the board. I just thought, hey, let's get the HP back faster with the meadows, you know. Plus, I have the sword thing where every day it gets filled with the sunlight, and that's quite good. Okay, let's pop this over here, and we will close off this now. All right, perfect, and let's see if we can surround this one as well. I think we'll be able to. Okay, we've got a sword here. I think what we have currently is a little bit better. Yeah, we're going to hold on to what we have sword-wise. So I mentioned how good it is of a game to drink coffee to. And I truly mean that. I picked up some coffee on my trip to Utah. We stopped at a cafe called Cafe Merc. And Hold on, let's get back to this real quick. And we're gonna seal that in fully, and then we're gonna get bonus stuff. Look at that, we've got another village. Of course we'll pop that out, why not? Do we really need it? Nope, but we will take it, right? Let's put this over here and try and control the population a little bit. This is like one of those have your pets spayed and neutered, right? Let's control the population. All right, we'll put that down. I think we're good as far as everything else goes at the moment. Yeah. And at some point, we're going to be full up here. Now, I'm going to start not using the cards because that's what goes into this resource called memories. When these cards burn up, you're going to see resources start to flow over to here, and that's going to fill our memories, which are quite valuable as well. I mean, you kind of want a little bit of everything, if I'm being totally honest. Okay. So I'm just basically monitoring my health to make sure things don't get too out of control. Like right now, they're getting stronger. I'm not gonna lie. We'll put down these to build that max health. I don't think we have anywhere. I mean, there's an open space over here, so I guess we'll plunk this down. We have another village. Like, where do you even put this? I guess over here. Here's see. There's another bandit camp. So we'll put a beacon over there, just because. And we'll just continue to monitor that health. So we went to Cafe Merc, and I picked up a roast from Cafe Ibis. This is a roaster out of Logan, Utah. And this is a Kakawagayo Dark roast. It's a Sumatra with tasting notes of black pepper and honeyed raisins. Isn't that an interesting combo? I'm a fan. I am a huge fan of it. I get a little bit of the pepper. I don't know if I get the honeyed raisins. There's a little bit of a sweetness there. It's a fantastic roast. So that was actually the cafe that I talked about the other day, where I got the blackberry latte. It was just wonderful. The flavor combination is just incredible. So we're building up these memory fragments, and see, every time you get 10, you get a book of memories, which is an even better resource. Oh wow, a treasury. The problem is now you can only put the treasury down in an area that's not surrounded, and we actually don't have anywhere to put this. So we will put the village down. I'll go into planning after this battle. Where will we even put this? I guess let's put it there. Let's just throw down the last few of these, and then we'll continue building up the Book of Memories. That comes from the cards not being used when these get burned over here, because your hand is too full. Alright. So the battles are getting beefy here. I'm just looking to see, is there anything we want to do? I see higher level stuff, but you know, we've got a lot of great legendary gear that it just gets harder and harder to let go of this stuff. I will put a village down purely for the life coming back. Oh boy, another bandit camp. That's all right. It's gonna be okay. We're kicking ass out there still. You'll have to let us know in the comments if you're gonna get around to this one. My hope is that we broke a little bit of a barrier out there today with this game. that I had for quite some time. Maybe you had one too. You looked at it and you said, man, I hear such good things about this game, but gosh, it looks so involved. It is, but if you just get in there, and hopefully after viewing this, you've got some help as well to kind of have a base of knowledge to go in there, but I can't recommend this one enough. And, you know, once I got into the concept of auto battlers, I started to think to myself, well, wait a second, you know, maybe I want to check out Despot's game now. You know, maybe I like auto battlers a little bit, and I never knew. So it's cool. It's kind of opened up this new subgenre, this subgenre of roguelike and roguelite auto battlers. I would definitely put this in the bucket of roguelites. Oh, look at this. Resource cap in the expedition is increased by 50%. I mean, that might be interesting. This is interesting too, but our evasion is only 5% right now, so I don't know that I could see a business case for this, but I kind of like this, because then we can bring back even more stuff if we're able to continue to survive. So let's do that. Let's pop another village down. We'll put it over here, I guess. And we've got an Oblivion, so let's get rid of this. And you know, I guess we'll just pop the rest of this stuff down. As far as the sand dunes, to lower everybody's health. Yeah, see, speaking of health, we're kind of getting to that point where these guys are like, hey, goat, we've had enough of your bullshit, okay? Counter and regen, defense and evasion. Let's do that. Okay, and if we lose, that's okay. That's okay. Because I have this, and I knew I had that, so that was okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take all, and now we get everything. We're going to retreat at this point. Okay. So I'm going to show this off a little bit. When you start out, you're not going to have much. Okay, but basically, you're going to bring resources back, and you're going to build this town hub up over time. These different structures. And they're going to give you different buffs. So let's go into the building. We'll explore this. These are all the buildings that I have right now. And then there's different buildings out here that I could build. I haven't... I know what you're thinking. Why haven't you built the refuge? I haven't built the refuge because I'm still learning how to play the first class. I wasn't ready to bring in a new class, this rogue. At some point, I will check it out. But I've basically done ones that, you know, provide some kind of immediate shot in the arm. Here's the watchtower. That's what gave me the crossbowman. You can upgrade it. You can add additional watchtowers. That'll give you even more crossbowmen in that area over by the camp. This allows me to bring in additional buffs to the character. And these are, you know, permanent buffs as well that you can change in and out in these different sections. And there's, you know, obviously ways to open up different slots along the way. What else? You know, there's a crafting area depending on the types of buildings you have, and you can create new resources from the different items that you've picked up if you choose to. And then let me show this as well. So this is where you can build the deck. And you get special gold cards that get unlocked along the way. Like this one, for instance, allowed me to open up the slot so that I could have helmets and find helmets along the way of a run. But you'll see it unlocks an additional equipment slot, but it reduces the item quality by 15%. So maybe I'm not finding as good of stuff along the way. Now, I would argue that we found some pretty damn good stuff in that run. It worked out okay. So anyway, hey, I hope you're going to check this game out because it took me quite some time. This game came out March 4th, 2021. It's on PC, obviously, and Switch. But I've been holding on to this game for a while, and I'm glad I finally got to it. It's fun to screw around with, especially if you're like, man, I don't know if I want to play a game right now. This game, you know, there's some thought and some strategy to it, but, you know, you can kind of sit there and just enjoy what's happening. You're still going to get that feeling of progression, okay, that we all come to roguelikes for. We like that progression treadmill. Give it a shot. The learning curve is not too steep with it. And like I say, you know, if there's anything I can help you out with as you get into it, and as I learn more about the game, happy to help. Pop your questions in the comments and feel free to come back. You know, even once the video has been out there for a little bit, if somebody comments, I can see the you know, the comments pop up and reply back, and I'm happy to. And any experts that are watching this video and going, "Oh my God, Goat, what did you do there?" Hey, help me improve. I'd love to improve my my approach to the game. Right now, I think I halfway know what I'm doing, but I could definitely improve for sure. So, hope you enjoyed the video and hanging out and talking chili and talking coffee. And we'll do this all again next time. We'll play another roguelike or roguelite because that's what we do here every single time. And we'll probably talk about some food and some coffee because we try to do that as much as we can too, right? Talk about all the cool shit in this world. All right, you take care now. You enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you next time on the Goat Force Gaming channel. Be well.